I'm not even sure if anybody watched Dynamite tonight and had a really genuine interest in whatever happened on the show tonight. I don't think there's one person. I don't think there's one person that is enjoying what we're getting right now, even though we all appreciate what AEW and WWE is doing. I understand that. But there's nobody out there that is absolutely just enjoying what is being produced right now. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I don't want to come on here and be negative, but I don't think Dynamite even mattered tonight. I really don't. I honestly think it was one of their worst efforts since October. It's one of the worst Dynamite shows that I think we've ever seen. And that has nothing to do with the talent involved. That has nothing to do with the conditions that they are working under for this particular set of tapings. Because things now have changed. Florida is now deeming companies like AEW and WWE an essential business. They could absolutely go back to doing live television. I'm not sure if they will, being that they have 5 or 6 weeks in the can leading up to Double or Nothing. I honestly think this entire worldwide crisis is just beating people down to a point where we went from panic and fear to now we're getting depressed. And then the depression is going to lead to anger. That's the way I see it going. I appreciate everybody doing what they have to do. I appreciate, even though some people think it's stupid, these pro wrestlers, men and women, actually going out there and performing for us. But I will say it again, it is not immune to criticism. The show was not even entertaining in the least tonight. And it was headlined by a match that Tony Khan was hyping on Twitter and all throughout the week on social media, and Jake Hager versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. And I was excited for it. I wanted to see what AEW would do to push the boundaries of a no-holds-barred match, empty arena, obviously, given the current circumstances. Moxley is a lunatic. Jake Hager could fucking go with the best of them. And it ended up being just as bad as Edge and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And I don't really want to be negative with you guys, but some will take my negativity as just that, negative, just for the sake of being negative. I love AEW. You guys know if you come watch me on a Wednesday night, I'm not really all that negative. But I'm negative because I am truthful. I am truthful. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you guys, okay? You know. Today was a dark day, the darkest day in WWE as far as ways that they've currently operated business. One of the darkest days in the history of WWE that's seen, and in counting, now it's up to 36, I believe, men and women that were terminated because of what has happened to the economy. And obviously there is more to the releases today than just the economy and pretty much all of the world just shutting down until further notice. But I don't want to dive too deep into it. And we're going to save it for Friday because I still need to collect my thoughts, A, and B, we have not seen the last of the releases. Tomorrow is going to be just as bad as today. Is it due to the economy? Or is it, and we're going to dissect it just a little bit, or is it all of the past mistakes that Vince McMahon made, and they finally caught up to him? Vince McMahon's greed finally caught up to him. All of his terrible business practices, all of the neglect and looking at AEW as legit competition, right? And telling everybody, oh, we don't see them as legit competition. Meanwhile, they're throwing out 5-year deals over there and 5-year deals over there and $1 million over here and $3 million to Goldberg over there. which in hindsight looks absolutely fucking just ridiculous after today. How much of this is Vince McMahon's fault? How much blood is on Vince McMahon's hands after all of this? I do see his side of the story. I do see that he needs to still operate business to the best that it could be run in WWE, but the XFL filed for bankruptcy. The XFL was a failure for the second time. Now, granted, it wasn't Vince McMahon's fault, but he didn't really anticipate a worldwide pandemic going on. But needless to say, the XFL is a part of Vince McMahon's godlike complex. It's a part of Vince McMahon's greed. The fact that WWE gave out contracts to people that really did not deserve contracts like that is ridiculous. It was Vince McMahon's greed that ultimately led him to what had happened today. Some part of me does really feel bad for Vince McMahon. It's a very minuscule part. It's a minuscule militia, like Edge said, right? Called us all a minuscule militia of malcontents. It's a minuscule portion of my soul that feels bad for Vince McMahon because he's lost more money, and this was just a terrible week in general for Vince McMahon with everything that went on. He's lost more money due to whatever had happened this entire WrestleMania season than any time in his entire life. It's been the worst month of Vince McMahon's life. I do feel for him. You know, I do feel for him in some weird capacity. And I'm looking at this and I'm trying to remain positive. I really am. And I don't want to go too deep into it and give you guys all my thoughts today because that's what Friday's for. This is AEW, but this was greater than Dynamite tonight. I'm trying to look at this as a positive. I really am. I want to go over the list of people that were released today. I think it's about 35 or 36. I didn't really count, but there's more coming in and there will be more tomorrow. More names are likely to come out tomorrow, but these are the list of confirmed people who have been released by WWE today. As noted, the releases came from a result of budget cuts due to the worldwide crisis that is going on right now in the economy. Several employees have been released, and we have confirmed some on Twitter, and others have not been announced by WWE at this time. Many employees will be furloughed. WWE has not told wrestlers that once things get back to normal, or actually they have told people that once things get back to normal and back and up and running with packed arenas, that the door is always open to bringing people back. They did not say everybody's coming back, but some will indeed come back. Now, this is the list. Main roster wrestlers and on-air talent. Drake Maverick, Kurt Hawkins, Karl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. Heath Slater, Eric Young, EC3, Leo Rush, Eric Rowan, Sarah Logan, Mike Chioda, who's been with the WWE since 1989. And that actually upset me when I heard that. Actually, he was out with an injury. I'm not sure what had happened to Mike Chioda, but he's been out nursing an injury of some sort. I don't know. But the fact that Mike Chioda has been there since 1989 and he was let go, it's unbelievable to me. It really is. Now, granted, he was probably making more than 4 younger referees that WWE just hired, and they figured that they could train those guys to do just as good as a job as Mike Chioda does. But it's not even the issue with them firing Mike Chioda over what he's been making or what his salary was. It's the fact that everybody is a fucking number to Vince McMahon. There's absolutely no loyalty to anybody that works there. If you work there, you are replaceable by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit who you are. That's what that tells me. That's what that release tells me. Eric Rowan, Sarah Logan, Mike Chioda. We have Primo and Epico. I mean, that's on the list. I'm not surprised to see that In fact, I actually said finally. Mike and Maria Kanellis. People were complaining on social media that WWE released somebody on maternity leave. You know? Oh, I'm sorry that they got released. Mike and Maria Kanellis. We'll go over that in a second. Oh, I'm sorry that they released Maria Kanellis. Isn't Maria Kanellis and Mike Kanellis the couple that actually sat down with WWE and signed a 5-year contract without telling them that they were with child while they signed 5 years and then just unceremoniously, oh, you know what? We're pregnant. We're going to need time off TV to take care of our second kid. Spare me the fucking tears. Spare me the tears, okay? So, goodbye, Mike and Maria Kanellis. Absolutely fucking worthless in every sense of the word. Plus, they weren't for the company. You're just as bad as Vince McMahon in that aspect. Karma. Zack Ryder, who's been there for 15 fucking years, another one of those releases that just made me sad. 15 years. The guy actually started social media in the way we look at social media today. You know? He was on YouTube during his True Story Long Island IZ YouTube TV show. He was the first one to kind of put himself out there on the internet and really make himself an internet celebrity. Got over on his own. WWE didn't see Zack Ryder as anything but a bottom-of-the-barrel guy. So when he started to get over, they did everything in their power to squash that momentum. You are not allowed to do that. You are not on our plan of guys that we want at the top. That's what happened there. Realistically, if you want to look at it, there is no being the elite without a Zack Ryder. There isn't any of these YouTube wrestling personalities or YouTube, pro wrestler stories and video skits online. Really? There's no social media presence at all for pro wrestling if it wasn't for Zack Ryder. So you got to give him his props too. No way, Jose. Feel bad for him. He was told to come to work even when he didn't want to, I'm sure. Told to come to work on Monday. Gets squashed by Bobby Lashley. Figures, you know what? I finally got work. I'm on TV. There you go. All right. Maybe I can use this time to maybe show Vince that I'm willing to help out where I can. Come Wednesday, he gets a phone call. Not to show up to Monday Night Raw next week, but released. How does it feel to be No Way Jose today? It wasn't Rusev Day today either. Rusev was let go, which we'll go over in a second. NXT was not safe. In fact, I expect NXT releases tomorrow. Deonna Purrazzo, Alexander Jacek, don't know who that is. Apparently, he never made an NXT TV appearance. MJ Jenkins was released. And then Ace Steel, coach. Deonna Purrazzo released. She was just on social media claiming, guys, it's all right. I got squashed by Nia Jax, but I'm making a decent salary and I'm very well off. Don't worry about it. Again, whatever you say on social media will live forever. Now you look back at that tweet. How does she feel today? Gone. Producers, employees. Some have been furloughed. Now, the agents that have been let go, they have been told that this is a temporary thing and there will be a possibility that they are brought back when things get back to some sense of normalcy. Kurt Angle was released today. Kurt Angle. I'm assuming that WWE is going to leave the door open for a fucking Kurt Angle to come back into the company. Aiden English, WWE took him out of the ring to make him a commentator on 205 Live. He wants to wrestle. In fact, he said it tonight. My career is not over by a long shot. So he may be going back to the indies when things get back to normal. Lance Storm, they just brought him in as an agent. I would assume the door is going to be open for Lance Storm to come on in. Shane Helms has been released. Sarah Stock, Scott Armstrong, Billy Kidman, Fit Finlay released. Pat Buck, who they just brought on into the company. Sean Daivari, Mike Rotunda. This is laughable. They fired IRS on what is April 15th, tax day. I don't find that to be funny at all. I just find that to be fucking comical. And Vince McMahon, you know what? We'll fire IRS on the IRS tax day, April 15th. Andrea Listenberger. She was a writer for WWE Creative. She was single-handedly the brainchild for Mandy Rose and Otis's storyline that culminated at WrestleMania, and that is still continuing on today. She got released. And Jerry Soto, who is a Spanish-language announcer. Those are all the names so far that have been released. All I will say is this, folks, because there's going to be more tomorrow, and we're going to talk about this in depth on Fridays off the script. So you better set your watches, your fucking iPhones, your Samsungs. You better set your YouTube notifications. We're going to be diving into all this shit, how it happened, what happened in Florida, what led WWE to this. I'm trying to look at this positively. I really am. Drake Maverick's video on Twitter today was absolutely heartbreaking. And it actually made me tear up because the guy started fucking crying that he got fired from his dream job working in the WWE. And how creepy, how fucking odd is it going to be that this guy has been given his release from the company, yet they're still allowing him to compete in a round-robin tournament on NXT to crown an interim Cruiserweight champion. Now, I look at this two ways. One, it's going to be really fucking weird for Drake Maverick to be wrestling knowing that he doesn't have a job to come back to and he's not winning the fucking tournament. And two, how great do you think Drake Maverick is going to show everyone in WWE how great he is in that time so that he possibly is brought back at a future time? Trying to look at it positively, folks. Trying to look at it in a positive way. Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows. You know, they were very quick to blast WWE about, how things were going wrong and we're the greatest tag team on the planet and blah, blah, blah. We're this in Japan. Yet they signed cozy 5-year deals and they stayed with the company for greed. Instead of working and getting their careers back to where they were, they opted to take greed behind door number 2. Now, yes, they were part of the OL, the official losers with AJ Styles, him being the only winner there, obviously. Do I look at this as a bad thing? Of course not. They could go back to New Japan when things open up over there and pick up the pieces right when they had left. They could go to AEW. You don't think they're licking their fucking balls to go to AEW? Give me a break. That tag team division, when things get back to normal, is going to be fucking untouchable. They would love a shot over there. And I don't really see this as a bad thing. These guys wanted out. They took the money. Now they're out. They're going to go make their money somewhere else and probably be better off for it. Heath Slater's been there for 15 fucking years. They let him go. Jinder Mahal is still under contract, but Heath Slater was released. I don't find that to be very fair. I really don't. I don't find any of this to be fair, but Heath Slater gone from the WWE. 15 years of service. All he did was work his ass off. Gone. Eric Young gone. EC3. EC3 was going nowhere. This is an opportunity. Why would anybody feel bad for EC3? I don't get it. Why would you feel bad for... Do I feel bad that he got fired, that he's out of work right now? Of course I do. But is he going to be out of work for long? When things get back to normal. You don't think he's going to AEW? Give me a break. So if everybody bitching and moaning about EC3, I'll feel bad for EC3. This is a good thing for EC3. Leo Rush. If there's anybody on this list that's going to end up in AEW, or if there's anyone on this list that AEW is looking at, Leo Rush will be fine. If WWE let Leo Rush go, I think they're fools. I honestly think they are fools. He will be fine. The guy is absolutely mega talented to a point, if he's on the free agent market, this guy is going to find work before he even fucking breathes. AEW would be fucking dumb to let this guy sit on the free agent market. Eric Rowan, I could see him a part of the Dark Order. I would sign Eric Rowan as well. Get the band back together on Dynamite. I think that's actually a great thing for Eric Rowan as well. Where are these guys going to go? I don't want to become insensitive here, but You got to look at this as an opportunity for these guys to do better because they were doing nothing to begin with. And this all goes back to the original fucking root of the problem. Vince signing these guys and hoarding these guys and keeping these guys on his little toy shelf and not playing with them. Then everybody wants to feel bad. Oh my God, these guys were released. Am I supposed to feel that fucking bad for an EC3 that was making a cool $500,000 by basically doing nothing but sitting in catering, having Titus's fucking meals 7 days a week? You want me to feel bad about that? This is an opportunity that needs to be looked at a positive, or in a positive way. Mike Chioda. I mean, how long was he there? 1989, the guy was fucking making his WWE referee debut. And the guy is gone. All those years of service meant nothing. Just gone like that. Now, I don't know if he is going to have that open door policy where he can come back. I mean, AEW referees seem to be one crayon short of a full box. So if he's good and well enough to still go, I'd take him on board as well. Primo and Epico, I don't know why this hasn't happened 3 years ago, so if anybody is upset about this release, I mean, when was the last time these fucking guys were on TV? Finally, is all I said. Finally. I don't know why these guys weren't fucking released 3 years ago. Mike and Maria Kanellis, boo-hoo-hoo. Go fuck yourself. Zack Ryder, No Way Jose, and Rusev. Surprised Lana was not a part of this list, but that may be coming tomorrow. We got Deonna Purrazzo, MJ Jenkins, Ace Steel, who WWE brought in as a coach. Deonna Purrazzo, I mean, her and Sarah Logan, if AEW needs any boost to women's division, there you go. There you go. And it is not silly of me or outlandish of me to be talking about where they're going to end up. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? They're going to go back to Ring of Honor and do what? Be in irrelevancy, folks. It's either WWE or AEW. AEW is not going to sign everybody. They're only going to sign who's going to make them better and who they need. You didn't see me listing everybody on this fucking list to go to AEW. Only the ones that would benefit most. Only the ones that would make what they're doing over there that much better. Kurt Angle, Aiden English, and everybody that was a producer/employee, you know, all of those are open to return, and all of them have been furloughed, so they are on the list of possibilities to come on back into the company. This was a dark day, the darkest day in WWE history as far as what we have seen as of late, the way they've run business. I don't want to say the darkest day in WWE history, given what we've seen on Dark Side of the Ring already, but as far as when WWE has been a publicly traded company, I would probably say this is the darkest day in WWE history. Honestly, from an employee standpoint, from a way they do business standpoint. You know, people were calling it Black Wednesday on Twitter. And I don't want to be negative about it. Seth Rollins has upset a lot of people by his fucking comments as usual about this. And I'll have more on what WWE is thinking, what led them to do this, and everything in between on Friday's episode of Off the Script, which I'm going to record tomorrow. I just got to get my thoughts ready, and clearly there's going to be more releases, so I don't want to talk about it here and then have all these people tomorrow end up being released. But it goes to show you that the way WWE has been doing business, the way that they have just treated the pro wrestling world and the pro wrestling landscape as if it was its own toy bin, it's coming back to bite them in the ass. All of these releases today accumulates over $4 million in savings a month for WWE. That's why they did it. WWE needed to get the start on what they're going to be conducting next week, and that is their first quarter shareholders conference call. So clearly, this was done because of what happened, or what is happening next week with the conference call. Vince wants to make himself look, hey guys, I'm actually trying to, recoup my losses here. I'm trying to make progress, and I'm trying to, set the foundation for what we do later on in the year. So it's no coincidence that these guys were fired. And mixed with WWE and Linda McMahon in the state of Florida with that $18.5 million from Linda McMahon's Super PAC and all this nonsense that's been reported about WWE still running TV and then WrestleMania being affected by, the virus and Vince McMahon pretty much filing for bankruptcy with the XFL. What a fucking week, man. Unbelievable week. But, again, if you guys want my full thoughts on this, we'll talk about it Friday. These are just some of my initial thoughts on this. And we're going to go over what I think in regards to all this on Friday. But I thank you guys for joining me today. I just wanted to get that off my chest there. And if you guys have been living under a rock today, that's exactly what happened. It kind of took a little bit more of a precedent over Dynamite. But I'm glad you guys are joining me here tonight. I should have went live with all of this earlier just to hang out with you guys and take questions and really go over the releases. They were coming every 30, 45 seconds, man, at one point today. They were like just flowing one after the other, man. I was refreshing. I sat here literally for about 3 hours refreshing my fucking Twitter just to see who was going to be the next casualty, But it's crazy. It really is crazy. But I thank you guys for joining me here today on the Dynamite Review. We're going to try and go over this as quickly as we can because there really wasn't anything crazy that happened on this show tonight. But thank you guys for joining me on the Dynamite Review. I'm JD. This is Off the Script. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications as well. I would greatly appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up. Again, I love what you guys did on the Monday Night Raw review. You guys came out in full force. The thumbs up really helps out the channel, and I cannot stress it enough. If you guys hit the thumbs up, it gets pushed to the recommended a little bit more. It shows YouTube that this video is engaging, and YouTube will be more prone to push a video with greater ratings. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It not only helps me out, but it helps the overall channel out as well. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter as well, JDfromNY206, patreon.com/JDfromNY206. If you guys missed any videos, the links are down below. Go check out my Monday Night Raw review and last weekend's Off the Script. You guys are awesome there, so thank you for that. And today's podcast is brought to you by my good friends over at Blue Chew. I know, whatever happened today, guys, it really made you just feel unmotivated. This entire situation is making you feel unmotivated. Don't feel unmotivated in the bedroom. Guys, remember back when you were always ready to go. Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you guys can be ready. And whenever that opportunity arises, you'll be ready to go. If you could benefit more from extra confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed by online physicians, licensed physicians, so you guys don't have to go to the doctor's office. Not like you're going to be going to the doctor's office now anyway, I hope. Right? Or wait in line at the pharmacy and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. And best of all, there's no more awkwardness. You talk about awkward, man. Wait till you see the Seth Rollins fucking clip that we got on Off the Script. Holy shit, this guy is a fucking loser. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners on Off the Script. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use special promo code JD. That's all you got to do. JD at checkout. Just pay the $5 shipping and handling and get your free sample. That's BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for supporting Off the Script. Dynamite started off with a vignette of Jake the Snake Roberts. Good old Jake, man. You got to give it to DDP. DDP has taken him into the DDP household and has given him his own room in his house, taking care of him during this quarantine. Jake was by himself in a hotel locked up during quarantine, and he said he was going crazy. He went public with it on social media, and DDP took him in, taking care of him. We need Jake around, not only for the entertainment that he brings us and provides us, but, man, for his health. He's been through so much, so I'm glad to see DDP taking him in. And it was good to see Jake doing what he does best, stand in front of the camera and give a fantastic promo. He's talking about his guy Lance Archer facing Colt Cabana on tonight's show in the TNT Championship Tournament first round. Said this TNT title tournament was made for them. They would love to have a Lance Archer out there in front, he said. Everybody's going to look, everybody's going to bow down when he walks into a place. He commands attention. Lance was made for this. In our minds, that championship belt is a bone. Do you want to try and take that bone away from this dog? He said every time he wins, that's closer to what they think. He then shifted talking about Colt Cabana. He said he's watched him for years and knows what he's capable of, but it's not enough. He said Archer has a chip on his shoulder because he was forced out of the country to go make a living in Japan, and he's a friggin' animal, Jake said. Listen to me or regret it. Your choice. And that's the way the promo ended to open Dynamite. Excellent stuff as always from Jake, but that is the norm here on Dynamite. And we go right into Shivani and Jericho. Jericho's going to be there on commentary for the foreseeable future as long as these tapings are airing on TNT. They hyped the TNT title tournament. They also plugged tonight Britt Baker in action after being bloodied by Hikaru Shida, Sammy Guevara, and Shawn Spears in action. And then we had a segment with Jericho in the Inner Circle called the Bubbly Bunch, which was a take on the Brady Bunch. Now, the Brady Bunch might be a little, old for you guys. I remember watching the Brady Bunch back when I was growing up. It was fucking terrible. It was downright depressing. So we got that, and then obviously the Moxley and Hager world title match, no holds barred, falls count, anywhere, empty match, arena. And that was Dynamite tonight. Colt Cabana, I loved the open with Colt Cabana. You might not know who Colt Cabana was. I really don't know much about Colt Cabana. Obviously, I know who he is. Not a Colt Cabana fanatic by any means, but I love the video package that they played on Colt Cabana, giving you a glimpse into who he was, where he traveled, how important this is to him, what he thinks of Lance Archer, why he came to AEW. Just great stuff. I don't know why WWE doesn't do this for, maybe an Austin Theory, who they just debuted on the main roster. We have not seen one fucking video package about Austin Theory or anything regarding Austin Theory as to why I should care about an Austin Theory. We didn't see it with Theory. We didn't see it with Garza. We didn't see it with anybody. So WWE's got to get on that quick. But I love this about Colt Cabana. He says, my track record is just as good, and he wants to show his worth and prove himself in AEW. He says he's not looking past Lance Archer in any way. He says he's big, and he's a bad dude, but he's defeated big bad dudes before. He said becoming a champion in AEW at this level is his goal now, and he's taking it one step at a time. I know there's a lot going on right now, but this is all I'm thinking about at the moment. Excellent stuff there. More of that, please, on Dynamite. The match itself, not that good. Not that good. It was very predictable. There's nobody watching this that was thinking that Lance Archer was going to lose. They did what they could for Colt Cabana to get some offense, but Lance Archer ended up winning in 11 minutes over Colt Cabana and advancing in the TNT title tournament, which at this point seems, and again, I don't want to be negative, but man, it feels fucking deflated. It really does feel deflated. There's no big feel about the tournament. There's no big feel about the championship itself, and I hope that it changes my mind as we get later into the tournament, but I'm not feeling it right now. I don't know if it's just a mixture of things, of the tournament being predictable mixed with the current circumstances that we got going on with these shows or how the shows are being portrayed and presented. Might be a mixture of all that, but it does not feel big at all, man, and that's the best word for me to use. It feels fucking deflated. It really does. It feels flat. So Archer wins here with the blackout, and that was pretty much it. Colt Cabana has looked very good in his AEW run so far. It's been young, but he's looked very good. Lance Archer has looked fantastic so far. And when things get back to normal, hopefully, we don't know what the fuck's going on. I can't wait to see how Lance Archer is treated in front of a live audience, because he's just got that must-see appeal to him. You might not like him, you might not think he's a big deal, but man, He's going to be their version of what Braun Strowman used to be. He's going to be their version of what Matanza used to be for Lucha Underground. He's going to be that big, unbeatable force in AEW, and I'm loving the way that they're treating Lance Archer so far. Very predictable outcome. Archer wins with the blackout. He advances to the semifinals. He will go one-on-one with either Kip Sabian or Dustin Rhodes, and we all know what's going to happen there with him getting past Dustin Rhodes. It just sets itself up, being that he's in the feud right now with Cody. So I'm just giving you guys a glimpse into the future. That's exactly what's going to happen. There's no way that Archer is not going to be in the finals. Britt Baker was on site at a dentist office. She had a bandage on her nose. I'm not sure if she legitimately had a broken nose. I didn't really read anything about it. Nothing was reported. Maybe it was just a stiff shot that busted her open hard way. But she had a bandage on her nose, or it might have been one of them allergy strips. I don't know. And she presented her rules for being a role model. First rule is always fight fair. She said her opponent took her attack to a disgusting level with dangerous tactics. She said she felt burning in her skull and felt burning in her face, yet she continued to valiantly fight with an excruciatingly deviated septum. She said it wasn't her fans cheering for her and encouraging her to continue, but rather her own dedication to the face of this women's division no matter what, or to be the face of this women's division no matter what. So really, who's the true winner here? She put on a glove and admired the needle as the segment ended. Schiavone said that she'd be in action later tonight, and then he plugged Moxley and Hager. Well, we got AEW doing really well tonight in the hype to Hager and Moxley, speaking of which, was they got some really notable personalities to really go over what they thought of the match, really giving it a big fight feel, really giving it some importance. We had Ariel Helwani, and I'm sure WWE's thrilled about this. Ariel Helwani from ESPN hyping the match via Skype or a cell phone video. He said, two guys who are tougher than a $2 steak. Yes, thank you for being original, Mr. Helwani. Copying Jim Ross. Says it's difficult to predict the winner, but in the end, he's picking his fellow MMA guy, Daniel Jacob Hager Jr. He said he's undefeated as an MMA fighter and has seen it all and done it all. He said he can't wait to see it all unfold. Then we got Taz on a cell phone video in the comfort of his own home talking about this. He said their champion needs to knuckle up and be careful of a nasty, legitimate mat man like Hager with that power. It could be deadly, he said. Oh, Taz, you don't know, bro. You want to talk about deadly. Just watch something on Friday night at 8 p.m. on Fox. Oh, that's deadly. You don't want anything to do with that, bro. I'd take Hager, honestly. He said it'll turn into a street fight and predicted a tough Moxley win. So, again, I really like this. I like the opening segment with Jake. I like the opening segment with Colt Cabana. I thought that was fantastic. I love that they're giving this match, this main event match, this world title match between Moxley and Hager, a big fight feel with these notable names talking about it. Some good stuff so far. Not all bad. Just wasn't my cup of tea. I don't think any of these shows are going to be my cup of tea. So, then we got Taz analyzing Hager's arm triangle sleeper finisher. He posed some images of Hager applying the hold and showed where the tension is focused on when the arm is trapped. It's an amazing way to choke somebody out, he said. So Moxley will need his training for this match, and he will need to do his best to escape that hold. And if Hager gets it applied, good night. So I really like that as well, going over the analyst approach, showing you how the hold is applied and where the tension point is and where you're legitimately going to get choked out and what happens when you do. I think it's great. I think it's great. That all plays up into what AEW really kind of hyped about the company before we even got Dynamite on TNT. A real sports analytic approach. I love it. Can't shit on that at all. Britt Baker versus Cassandra Golden. This one went 1 minute. Got to give it to Britt Baker, even though my boy Jesse calls her Eva Marie. I mean, I get you don't like Britt Baker, bro, but Eva Marie, Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit, I take Britt Baker any day of the week, 4 times on Sunday. Gotta give it to Britt Baker, man. She, in this particular set of tapings, had a bloody nose from that match with Hikaru Shida, which was very good. and she's out here performing again. So if you don't like Britt Baker, so be it. But you got to give her some credit for actually coming back out right after that match with Sheeta and going in to this match with Cassandra Golden, who I've never seen before. Apparently she was on AEW Dark, lost her debut to Sheeta on Dark. I don't watch Dark. Fuck Dark. Got too much things going on right now for me to worry about fucking AEW Dark, okay? And if it's anything like what we're seeing here, I'll pass. Baker wins, super kick, curb stomp with Cassandra Golden's teeth on the bottom rope. So that was pretty much it. Baker wins in 1 minute. Schiavone said Sammy G was up next. He had a tune-up match before he faces Darby Allin next week in his quarterfinal match in the TNT Championship Tournament. Ron Funches, comedian, never heard any of his comedy, but it can't be more funnier than SmackDown on Fox. Seriously. Bruce Pritchard is the greatest comedian of all time. He hasn't said one fucking word. Just look at his work. Ron Funches, a comedian, predicted Moxley would be the winner by imitating Justin Roberts, introducing him. Bro, why do you even try? Why do you even bother? Then Mike Goldberg, not Bill Goldberg. We don't like Bill Goldberg, but Mike Goldberg we actually enjoy. Voice of MMA Bellator, predicted Hager would win, called Hager his good buddy. He told everybody to stay safe and healthy because here we go. That was my terrible impression of Mike Goldberg. But, Mike Goldberg was being that he was, I think, the voice of UFC at the time, he was actually being lured away while under UFC contract, I believe the story is, by Vince McMahon to be the voice of Monday Night Raw. Obviously, that did not work out. So, there you go. Video package hyping Double or Nothing on May 23rd. It's happening, folks. It's happening, and I actually got news on Double or Nothing happening and still being planned. AEW issued the following statement, an update on Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing and the pay-per-view will be televised on pay-per-view as scheduled on Saturday, May 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Additional details related to Double or Nothing, which were initially scheduled to be held at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, will be revealed in the weeks ahead, with features of the event itself ultimately being determined by the latest guidance of national and global health authorities. The highly anticipated event will be available for purchase via in-demand cable operators, DirecTV, Dish Network, Bleacher Report Live, Fight TV, I believe, as well. Double or Nothing, which was originally scheduled for May 23rd, 2020, has been rescheduled for the MGM Grand Arena on Saturday, May 29th, 2021. So, we are getting Double or Nothing live this year, not from Las Vegas. I'm assuming now that Florida has labeled all television and media, AEW and WWE, an essential business, I'm assuming that Double or Nothing is going to be taking place in Jacksonville. That's all I could guess right now. I'm assuming it's going to be in Daly's place, or maybe somewhere else in an empty arena. I don't know. But my first logical guess would be Daly's place, because I'm not sure if there will be a live audience at that time. Probably not. Which sucks, because this was the flagship show for AEW. And just based on what we've seen last year, everybody was anticipating them to just blow everybody away this year even better. And I'm not sure that will even be possible with the current circumstances the way that they are. Fans who have already purchased tickets to the May 23rd, 2020 show will be offered a refund via the point of purchase or have their original ticket valid for admission to the event on May 29th, 2020. So right then and there, they're already anticipating no fans. If they're not really telling you that the tickets that you probably or might have purchased already for the Vegas show, normally they would say it would be valid for wherever the show is going to be taking place. But they said, A, you could get a refund, or B, you could have your original ticket valid for admission next year, May 29th in Las Vegas. So they're pretty much anticipating, they're pretty much telling you this that there's not going to be a live audience this year for Double or Nothing. Now, on top of Double or Nothing, Dynamite was supposed to air from the MGM Grand Arena after Double or Nothing that Wednesday, and that has been canceled for May 27th, 2020. Now, fans who have already purchased tickets to Dynamite on that date will be issued a full refund within 30 days by their financial institution. As illustrated in our mission statement, says AEW, the safety and well-being of our fans and talent is always our top priority. AEW is grateful to the MGM Grand Hotel and Resorts and everyone close to and within the AEW family, including fans, for their patience and understanding, and sends thanks around the world to healthcare and other frontline workers who are answering the call to protect and serve our communities. So that's that. So Double or Nothing, still happening. We'll see what happens. Apparently, all of these AEW tapings should take them all the way up until Double or Nothing. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully these shows get better as the weeks go by if this is really going to take them into their next pay-per-view. We got the Bubbly Bunch by the Inner Circle. Got a Bubbly Bunch graphic with Jericho's theme song playing in the background. It was similar to what you see at the start of the Brady Bunch, if you guys watched any of their movies or the TV show. Then they went to Ortiz talking on his phone in his kitchen. Then they cut to Santana in his bedroom with stuffed animals on a love seat in the background. Camera zoomed in on all of those briefly. I think there was like a lion and a Grinch-like stuffed animal. I'm the Grinch. I admit that wholeheartedly. Guevara was shown doing arm curls on the phone, and then he was using a punching bag. He bragged what he'd do to Moxley if he was in the ring with him. Then they cut to Hager sitting in his backyard with his two little kids on lawn chairs next to his pool. Said he was going to beat the shit out of Moxley, but he told his kids to cover his ears, though. Cover your ears, kids. I'm going to beat the shit out of Jon Moxley. Hold your ears, kids. Every time I fucking talk, you be holding your fucking ears the entire podcast. Told the kids to plug their ears. Then they went to Jericho in his kitchen frying an egg. Jericho needs some tips on frying an egg, bro. It looks like he didn't grease the pan or butter the pan at all. It looked like there was egg just sticking to the bottom of his fucking frying pan. Bro, you gotta use a little butter. Okay? I know my way around the kitchen, bro. You gotta use a little bit of butter, whether you're using scrambled or sunny side up eggs in that pan. You gotta use the butter so the eggs don't stick. Please, salted preferably, okay? So he made an over easy egg, and then he poured himself some orange juice. I'm assuming he wanted to make himself a mimosa because he had a bottle of the bubbly just sitting there, pouring the orange juice, and he spilled the orange juice on the kitchen counter. And he was talking about why he was spilling the orange juice, because he was calling Sammy Guevara sexy. He looks sexy today. Poured OJ into the glass and spilled it a bunch. And then they cut to the 5 dogs that he has staring at him. Unleash the hounds or release the hounds. And the 5 dogs were just staring at him. I enjoyed this. I thought this was creative and entertaining. And listen, Jericho could single-handedly be the reason why these shows have been decent. I didn't like the show just based on what we were presented with tonight. But Jericho has been fantastic in everything that he's done to really be there for AEW. Sammy G versus Pineapple Pete, or who Jericho was calling Pineapple Pete, Suge D. He also called him Suge Knight. The same dude that held Vanilla Ice by his fucking feet over a balcony. Suge Knight. The fuck is going on here, man? Pineapple Pete, Suge Knight, Suge D, whoever the fuck this guy is. Fucking Sammy G wins in 7 minutes. Guevara landed a high knee and then the go to sleep for the win. Really nothing more here but an enhancement match for Sammy G before he inevitably loses to Darby Allin next week. So Guevara leaned against the ropes and called it light work for the Spanish God. He said he could go another round or two. Said he's going to spoil whatever happens in the first round match of the TNT title tournament. I like the way that they kind of threw it in your face that the shows were taped. So I'm going to give you a spoiler on whatever's being taped right now for next week so you guys don't have to watch. So I'm telling you right now that I beat the living shit out of Darby Allin. That was it. Jericho cheered, and Jericho said yes. The baby faces outside by ringside were booing him. Guevara said he's going to brutally beat the hell out of that face-painted weirdo Then he attacked Suge D, Suge Knight, Pineapple Pete, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Darby made the save. Sammy retreated. Jericho and Darby, or Jericho said Darby, creeps him out. So there you go. Looking forward to that. That should be decent next week, but there's no doubt in my mind that Darby Allin's going one-on-one with Cody in the second round. It won't be Cody versus Sammy G. I can't see that happen. In fact, I said I'm going with Darby Allin to win the entire tournament. That's what I'm going with. Now, I know that's probably not going to happen, but I'm making an out-of-the-box prediction because I hope that they don't go and do the predictable thing. We got Big John McCarthy from Bellator MMA saying Moxley's a tough dude, but Jake Hager has been arm triangling everyone, and he predicted a new champion tonight in Jake Hager. Excalibur said that if this were a cage match, Hager would have the advantage, but it's not a cage. He said the empty arena is no holds barred and will go anywhere. So Moxley has the advantage in a street fight and will retain the title. So you got mixed opinions. You got the pro wrestling guys going with the pro wrestler. You got the MMA guys going with the MMA guy. So it's a 50-50 split here between those two different worlds. But I'm loving the fact that they're really giving this match a big fight feel. I just hate it, and it sucks that it's in the circumstances that it is in for this show. Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford. Congratulations to them. They are newly engaged. If you guys have not heard the news, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford are now newly engaged. They will not be having anybody attend their wedding at this current moment in time. Chuck Taylor with Orange Cassidy. I just could not get into this. I mean, I don't know why this match was even on the show. What does it mean for anybody, really? And the one thing that I took away from this, even though Sabian got the win over Chuck T, Sabian looks weak for... If you really want to push Kip Sabian as something decent on this roster, then have him win decisively without some bullshit interference. Kip Sabian is very good at what he does, but in this match, he needed help from his fucking girlfriend to beat Chuck T on Dynamite. So, I don't know why you make this go 11 minutes, he looks good, but then needs help on beating Chucky T in a match, and he needs Penelope Ford's help to get that win. I don't like it. I don't like it. They pretty much undid everything that they did in the match by telling you, yeah, Kip Sabian's good. Kip Sabian's good, but he needs his girlfriend to help win his match. It makes him look weak. So that's my take on that. So, towards the end of this thing, Chuck T avoided a DDT by Kip. Ford stood on the ring apron and distracted Chuck T. No surprise there. Sabian jumped up. I loved when Penelope Ford jumped up on the apron and Jericho was yelling, I wouldn't be distracted by that. And then Kip Sabian obviously takes advantage of the distraction. He goes over to kiss Penelope Ford, and Jericho's like, I wouldn't kiss my girlfriend during the match. Gotta love him. Gotta love him. I would not be distracted by that. Sure you won't, Chris. Sure you won't. So, Ford stood on the ring apron to distract him. Sabian jumped Chucky T, and then he kissed Ford. Never kiss a girl during the match is exactly what Jericho said. Cassidy stood on the ring apron, took off his jean jacket, posed like Ford. Havoc yanked him off the ring apron and gave him a spike pile driver. Ford, meanwhile, gave Chucky a flying Frankensteiner. Sabian then rolled up Chucky for the win. There you go. Like I said, he looked weak because he needed Penelope Ford to do a fucking flying Frankensteiner off the top rope. And I don't know how. I really don't know how. We had Aubrey Edwards refereeing this match. How she did not... She turned around as she was fucking midair. Why she didn't do anything. Really. How she didn't see Penelope Ford interfere in this thing and then counted it as if it never happened. I don't know. I don't know. You should not be doing that with Aubrey Edwards in a match. She should be the fucking law. You should not. If Aubrey Edwards is their best referee, you should not be doing that behind Aubrey Edwards' back. Seriously. If she is the law, make her the law. Nothing should get by her. Nothing. That's just my take there. Dan Soder, an actor, says he's loving AEW Dynamite. And we all were before this fucking bullshit virus hit. And what they're doing with no audience, says he's looking forward to Moxley beating Hager. Santana then had a video from his car on his phone. Said Moxley doesn't have the advantage he thinks he has in an empty arena. He said there will be nobody there to stop Hager from breaking every bone in his body. He's bringing back the title to the Inner Circle, where it belongs. He said Guevara predicted a Hager win. I'm predicting one too. He predicted Moxley will get his ass beat by the undefeated, unstoppable Hager. That's what Sammy G said. So both the Inner Circle guys clearly are going with the Inner Circle guy. No shit. Thank you for that unbelievable, riveting prediction. Both Sammy G and Mr. Ortiz. Shawn Spears, the chairman, versus Justin Law. This one went 2 minutes. C4 and Jericho loved that Spears didn't even bother to take off his t-shirt. So that's that. This was the gist of Dynamite tonight, folks. A lot of nothing matches, a lot of bare bones crew using who they have. If this is what we're being given, man, we got to get back to being live. Seriously, we got to get back. If we are going to be in this for the long haul, and Florida is deeming TV and media essential business, AEW should scrap everything that they're doing and bring everybody back live. Seriously. These shows could absolutely use whatever momentum that they could find right now in the middle of this thing. Seriously. This show is just... WWE's operating under a full crew. So if WWE's operating under a full crew, why can't AEW? Give me a break. Spears wins in 2 minutes. You know, Spears lost to Cody. He looked good in his match with Cody. Comes back and wins this match here. The way I see it, by Shawn Spears looking good against Cody and then being dominant over a guy like Justin Law, who I never seen before, you know, it really makes Shawn Spears look like a credible guy so that when he goes in the ring with somebody a little bit more well-known, he's not going to look like a complete jobber. So I guess if you want to look at that and look at it in a positive way, there's your positivity in Shawn Spears winning a 2-minute match over some loser jobber. So there you go. Shivani said that he and Jericho are signing off, and Jim Ross is taking over for the empty arena match between Hager and Moxley for the AEW World Championship. This was, in fact, taped at Daly's Place several weeks ago. Jim Ross was not in attendance during this match when it was filmed. He was obviously doing the commentary post-edit. He sounded really good. But I gotta make my criticisms here. This was a match filled with 3 commercial breaks. Started at the 9:30 hour. The commercial breaks really did not help the match whatsoever. At one point, they took a commercial break in the middle of just a random fucking sequence during the match, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, if I gotta criticize WWE for fucking 5 commercial breaks during Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, you know I'm bringing up the fact that TNT had to take fucking 3 or 4 commercial breaks during this Moxley-Hager match for the world title. Now, I would not be doing my job if I did not criticize this appropriately. The empty arena matches, I get what they're trying to do. I get that it's the only thing that they got going on, trying to work in their favor and give something of a different feel. But Edge and Randy Orton sucked at WrestleMania. It's one of the worst WrestleMania matches I've ever seen. I love Edge. I love Orton. Think they're fucking great. Match sucked. It's just my opinion. If you loved it, God bless you. I'm not in this to watch 36 minutes of a fucking empty arena match. I'm not here to watch an empty arena match with Jon Moxley and Jake Hager for 30 fucking minutes with 3-4 commercial breaks in between. I'm sorry. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, granted, this match was probably filmed before WrestleMania. It doesn't work. I do not want to see empty arena matches at 30 fucking minutes. I really don't. It doesn't work now. It will never work. Stop. Okay? Criticism number 2. The way that these guys were hyping this match, it should have been a fucking bloodbath. I'm watching the first 5-6 minutes of this match, and we're getting ground-based fucking submission rest holds. I'm watching a fucking glorified MMA match in a fucking AEW ring in front of an empty arena. Why? I get it. You're trying to show Jake Hager, or you're trying to show Jake Hager in the MMA light. You're trying to show everybody Jake Hager's strengths. I'm not watching Jake Hager in a wrestling ring doing MMA. Jake Hager, I'm sure, if you put him in a fucking wrestling ring, the guy could legitimately beat the living shit out of you, and I'm sure he could fucking go toe-to-toe with Jon Moxley the way Jon Moxley, I know, can go toe-to-toe with somebody in an empty fucking arena with no rules. Why are we getting ground-based fucking ground-and-pound mat submission wrestling in a no-holds-barred match? I don't get it. Again, I get that they're trying to show Hager's strengths because we shifted from that to these guys brawling in the crowd section of the arena. They tried to show Hager, and then they tried to show Moxley in their element with their strengths. I get it. But I don't want to see it in an empty fucking arena, no holds barred match. Okay? Criticism number 3. There was a fucking rope break towards the tail end of this match. It's no holds barred. Why do we have a rope break spot? Was it the referee's discretion? If it was, did Jim Ross say so? Because I did not hear it. I did not hear him say it. There should be no rope break in a no-holds-barred match. It looks stupid. The match was not good, folks. The match was not good. We knew it was going to be Moxley going over because he had just won the fucking title. They're not going to take the title off of Jon Moxley without a crowd being present. They're not putting it on Jake Hager. Okay? So, Hager has been undefeated. Great. This was the perfect time for him to lose because you're losing in the elements in a match that Jon Moxley is known to be the strongest in a no-holds-barred match. No rules. So, that's that. The match was not good. I don't remember one thing that stood out on this match. Not one. This was boring. It didn't do what Tony Khan was hyping it up to do. It didn't do AEW any favors either. Because all they did was bring me back to WrestleMania where we all shit on Edge and Randy Orton, and now here I am watching pretty much the same fucking match on Dynamite on Wednesday. It doesn't work. Okay? I'm going to say it. I said it already. I'm going to say it again. If AEW has these shows in the can and they're going to be showing us, I can only hope that these shows got better. From the Nightmare Factory in Georgia, wherever they tape this shit. I'm glad that the roster is home safe. I'm glad that they're quarantined. I'm glad they're with their families and doing what they got to do. But if AEW is allowed to go live, it's a good thing for Double or Nothing. God forbid Double or Nothing had to be fucking taped like WrestleMania. Good for Double or Nothing. But if I'm AEW and I'm seeing these shows on TV lifeless and just fucking stale and bland and there's no fucking excitement whatsoever, the ratings show it. People are fucking sick and tired of this shit. They want more than ever to get things back to normal. We want our pro wrestling back. We want our fucking economy back. We want our friends, family, and colleagues back to fucking work. Can't stand this shit. This shit needs to end, man. I'm tired of watching pro wrestling being portrayed like this. This did not do AEW any favors. Moxley wins with a DDT. He wins with the DDT, the paradigm shift, on a chair, and that was it. That was it. This match really didn't do anything. I don't remember anything from this match that stood out. Maybe the figure 4. Moxley had a figure 4 on Jake Hager in the aisleway. Figure 4 on Jake Hager in the aisleway. That was pretty much it. They had a chair. I think Moxley ran towards the chair, wedged in the corner. Hager put the chair wedged into the turnbuckles. Moxley, he hit his head on the chair. That was it. That was it. There was nothing about this match that was, oh my God, it's so hardcore. It's so out there. No, it was just as bad as what Edge and Randy Orton did at WrestleMania. And that was your AEW Dynamite. I can only hope that things got better, man, really. This might have been one of the worst Dynamite shows that they've ever put on. Not really intrigued by what's going on right now. The tournament feels flat. The shows feel flat. NXT is no better. I can't watch these shows with no fucking crowd. Monday Night Raw sucks. AEW sucks. NXT sucks. SmackDown is fucking terrible. I have nothing good to say about these shows. And please don't fucking cry to me. Oh, you don't appreciate nothing. The shows suck. The fuck do you want me to say? They suck. You're putting on shows, you're going to get my criticisms. Nothing on this show is absolutely fucking worth watching at all. At all. You know, fuck who's in the ring, or what they're building towards, or what tournament's taking place, or what title's on the line. It sucks. I got no satisfaction of watching this show. In fact, it made me depressed. More depressed. Just knowing what happened today, it made me feel worse. That's how bad this show was tonight. I'm getting out of here. Guys, thank you for all your support. If you want to support the channel, patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Make sure you guys hit up my sponsors today, Blue Chew, BlueChew.com. Use code JD at checkout. Really support them. This is the time to do that. Honestly, you support them, you support me. It helps everybody during this time of need. BlueChew.com. Make sure you guys get your free sample. Code JD at checkout. If you guys want to hit me up on Twitter, at JDfromNY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And please hit the thumbs up on the video down below. And check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. They are all listed there for you. Monday Night Raw, Off the Script, and everything else that is on the channel right now. Not sure I'm doing an NXT review tomorrow. I don't know if anything important happened on the show. At this point, I don't even care. We'll probably talk about it on Off the Script. If you guys want my thoughts, my quick thoughts and opinion on NXT, there's no reason for me. There's no reason for me to come on here. I just might as well record Off the Script early tomorrow. So that might be the plan. Other than that, guys, I will see you all right back here for more content on the channel. I might have something going on tomorrow. Might finish Resident Evil on Twitch. That might be my thing for you guys tomorrow. And then I'll see you on Friday for OTS 322, part number 1, where we talk about Doomsday in WWE. Until then, guys, take care. Have a good night. And I'll see you right back here on Friday for OTS. See you guys later.